Hi everyone, welcome to this BoldSign API tutorial. What if your AI agent could collect customer information, generate documents, send them for signature, and track completion automatically, all from a single conversation? In this video, you'll learn how to connect AI agents to BoldSign using the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, so they can execute real eSignature workflows without manually writing API integrations. We'll start with a simple example, then build up to a complete warranty claim workflow where the agent gathers information, generates a document from a template, sends it for signature, and tracks its completion automatically. You'll also see how the agent uses MCP tools behind the scenes to perform each step. Before we dive into the demo, let's quickly look at why MCP matters. Traditionally, connecting AI applications with external systems requires custom API integrations, authentication handling, and workflow orchestration. With MCP, these capabilities are exposed as tools that AI agents can use directly. Instead of manually writing logic for every action, the agent can understand the user's request, choose the appropriate tool, and execute the workflow automatically. This makes it much easier to build intelligent applications that interact with systems like BoldSign. At the center of this architecture is the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. MCP provides a standard way for AI agents to interact with external systems such as BoldSign. The BoldSign MCP server exposes eSignature capabilities as tools. When the agent executes a tool, the BoldSign MCP server invokes the corresponding BoldSign API behind the scenes. Since the MCP server handles API calls behind the scenes, the agent can discover available tools, choose the appropriate one, perform actions, and continue the workflow. The BoldSign MCP server provides tools across documents, templates, contacts, users, and teams. For example, an agent can discover available templates, create and send documents, monitor document status, and send reminders to recipients. Together, these tools enable the agent to manage the complete signing lifecycle. Here's how it works in practice. A user provides a request through natural language. The AI agent interprets the request, selects the appropriate MCP tool, and sends the request through the BoldSign MCP server. The MCP server executes the action securely in your BoldSign account and returns the result back to the agent. Before connecting to the MCP server, you'll need a BoldSign API key. To generate one, log into your BoldSign account, navigate to the API section, select API key, and click Generate API Key. A dialog box will appear where you can choose the mode. You'll see two options: Sandbox and Live. By default, it's set to Sandbox, which is ideal for testing and trying out BoldSign features for free. If you want to generate an API key for production use, simply switch the mode to Live. Next, enter a name for your API key and click Generate Token. Once it's created, make sure to copy it and store it securely. You'll need this API key to authenticate the MCP server and allow it to perform actions within your BoldSign account. Next, let's connect the BoldSign MCP server using GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code. BoldSign supports the streamable HTTP transport for MCP. First, create an mcp.json file inside the VS Code folder in your workspace. Then visit the BoldSign developer documentation and copy the provided configuration into your mcp.json file. Next, add the MCP server URL corresponding to your account region. You can find the exact regional endpoints in the developer documentation. Select the region that matches your BoldSign account. For example, if your account is in Canada, choose the Canada endpoint. If it's in the EU, choose the EU endpoint. If the regions do not match, authentication will fail and API requests will not work. This is because the MCP server authorization system, and API are all region-specific. Once you've selected the correct endpoint, add your BoldSign API key so the MCP server can authenticate with your BoldSign account. Once everything is configured, save the file and click Start to run the MCP server. Now that everything is set up and connected, let's see how it works. I prompt the agent to send an NDA document to Sarah. The agent understands the request, identifies the required action, and invokes the appropriate MCP tools to send the document. Now let's move beyond a single action and look at a complete workflow. To demonstrate a more realistic scenario, we've created a warranty claim agent. You can find this sample on our demos page. This agent uses the BoldSign MCP server to perform eSignature actions as part of a larger business workflow. Let's see how this works in a real-world scenario. Imagine a retailer that sells laptops and processes thousands of warranty claims every month. In many organizations, this process is still manual, time-consuming, and involves a lot of back-and-forth communication. Customers submit details over email. Support teams review the information manually. Documents are exchanged for signatures. As a result, the entire process can take longer than expected, creating a frustrating experience for customers. To reduce manual effort and speed up claim processing, the retailer uses a warranty claim AI agent powered by BoldSign MCP to automate the entire warranty claim process. The agent collects claim details through a conversation, generates a pre-filled claim form, and sends it to the customer for signature. Now, let's step into the role of a customer submitting a warranty claim through chat and see how it works. I start by initiating the chat. The agent begins gathering basic details about the product and the issue. At this point, the agent is also checking the warranty details in the background. I provide my full name and email address. Now it has everything it needs to create the warranty claim document. This is where the eSignature workflow begins. The agent selects a warranty claim template that already exists in the BoldSign account. Here's how the template looks in the Templates section of the BoldSign web app. This template contains predefined fields that will be automatically filled using the information collected by the agent. The agent then automatically populates the template using the information collected from the user and sends the document for signature. You can also see the document ID returned from BoldSign, confirming that the document was created successfully. As the customer, I've received the warranty claim form via email. Let me open the document. As you can see, all the fields have already been pre-filled with the details provided earlier in the conversation. I simply review the information and complete the signing process. Once the document is signed, I'll return to the chat and continue the conversation. Notice what happened here. Before proceeding, the agent verified that the document had been successfully signed. It did this by checking the document status using BoldSign MCP tools. Once the signature is complete, the workflow automatically moves to the next stage without any manual intervention. Now let's break down what happened behind the scenes. First, the agent collected the required information through conversation. Next, it identified the correct warranty claim template using template-related MCP tools. After retrieving the template information, it populated the required fields and sent the document for signature. Finally, it monitored the document status to determine whether the signing process was completed. Each step was performed using MCP tools, allowing the agent to execute a complete workflow without manual intervention. These instructions define the behavior of the agent. Instead of executing a single action, we're defining a process that the agent must follow. The agent uses MCP tools whenever necessary to complete each step of that process. That's the key difference. A simple prompt usually triggers a single action. Agent instructions allow the AI to coordinate multiple tools and execute an entire workflow from start to finish. In this video, you've seen how AI agents can perform eSignature actions using the BoldSign MCP server. We started with a simple prompt and then explored a complete workflow where the agent collected information, generated a document, sent it for signature, and tracked its status automatically. Using the BoldSign MCP, AI agents can trigger and automate parts of your business workflows. Ready to build your own AI-powered signing workflows? Connect the BoldSign MCP server to your favorite AI agent framework and start building. You'll find the MCP documentation and demo links in the description below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more BoldSign API tutorials. Thanks for watching.